Bulls Nation, preseason just concluded, so let's talk about this and what can we expect moving forward right after this.
Get the lowdown on one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. So, preseason just got done. We finished 3-1. There's some positives that I've seen in this team. Like everyone was down on the Bulls this season, and don't know really why. I get it, like the East got competitive, but the Bulls didn't lose major players. Actually added some pretty good ones, and like Mitchell going in there, like a lot of people just even painted the Bulls as not even making the playoffs or a play-in team. They were number one seed, and up until February, until honestly, like everything fell apart with the injuries and all that stuff. But with that being said, I'm okay. I wanted the Bulls to, prove the doubters wrong and all that stuff. But with what I've seen so far in the preseason, and I totally understand it's preseason, but I like what I saw. The only negative that I would say is that I didn't see much of Zach LaVine. That's pretty much it. DeMar, it looks like at least he picked up where he left off. Still a good player. A lot of people are expecting him to just, slide down at least in production and all that stuff. It doesn't seem to be the case. Vooch was the best, I would say, revelation in this preseason, because what I saw was a confident Vooch. Like, Vooch is cognizant. Like, he knows what his shortcomings was last season, and it looks like he's making some consistent efforts to remedy that. Like, he's not hanging out in the 3-point area. He's cognizant that he's not gonna shoot a lot of threes, yet he's gonna bang down low. For the most part, like in this era of the NBA, Vooch is is a premier center. I mean, he's bigger than most centers. Like, most teams are playing small ball nowadays, and Vooch has the skill set to be that dominant guy down low. And I love that. And I also like the fact that he, on defense, you can see him on pick and rolls. Like, he's picking them up the top, compared to back in the day where he's like Boozer, where he just like backs up. His defense overall has picked up. I think in the first preseason, he has like 4 blocks in the first quarter. So he's more active. He seems lighter as well. Quicker on his feet. Vooch is the one that I like the most, at least what I saw in the preseason. Patrick Williams showing a lot of people wrote him off. First game, he was decent. Second game, he got benched. It looks like Billy is experimenting on his number 4 in his power forward position. But, from the game tonight, which is the last preseason game, and Pat just went off. I don't know, but there's too many scorers and guys who wants to have the ball in the starting unit that I'm almost convinced that Pat should come off the bench pretty early, though. As soon as DeMar goes off, I feel like he should come in. Either DeMar or Zach comes out, then I think Patrick has to come in. He needs to have the minutes, though. But I feel like either Zach or DeMar doesn't need to be on the floor for him to be effective. He can't be the fourth option. If he's the fourth option, I think he loses his confidence. And at this rate, Javonte has a higher motor than him. That's what you would expect from a fourth option or even fifth option in terms of Javonte. Because obviously you're not going to be, asked upon on the offense. So you might as well contribute on other ways in your hustle and defense and all that stuff. So at this point, I would say Javonte, unless the power forward on the opposing team is really massive, because we all know the deficiency of Javonte is his height. I would stick with this lineup and then stick Patrick Williams with Caruso or Goran on the lineup with Kobe, and I think he'll be fine. I think our second unit will have a resurrection of the bench mob as we know it, and things are going to be okay. Lonzo Ball, obviously he's a big loss for the Bulls, but so far in the preseason, it doesn't feel like the Bulls are missing him all that much. Again, I know this is the preseason, but I guess this is where the depth on the guard rotation lies. Everyone was very high on Io to begin with last year, and I rightfully so, and I think he would be terrific this year. But we'll see. We'll see how much Lonzo. Of course, Lonzo is going to be missed. It's going to be hard to replicate what he does. But I think the Bulls can hold the fort till he comes back. I think they will. Still, biggest need I would say is a big four. A big four, because Javante is amazing. He's a glue guy. He does all the little dirty things, but when it's like Pascal Siakam or something like that, he's having a hard time, obviously because of his height and his length. So I would say that's still a position of need, and maybe not if we use Costa a lot. I didn't see much of him, and he's very raw. He's very raw, and that is one of the things that is a criticism of his game, is that the basketball IQ is not there all the time. But I wish this preseason we would have seen a bunch of him, to have a good evaluation, because he does have the size and the length. He does have the, defensive, I guess, IQ, at least for that part. Sometimes he gets beat by his man when they're cutting off the basket. He's not too aware sometimes, but you can't teach his length, though. So that's one thing that's going on for Costas. But overall, our new addition as well are pretty good. Pretty darn good. So I'm excited for this season. I don't think we're going to be in the play-in. I think we're going to be in at least a fourth seed this season, barring any major injuries. But I think we're up there. I think at this point we are better than Toronto. I would even say we're going to be better than Cleveland, because we are a veteran team, and we have one season now under our belt as a team, as a unit, and we made the playoffs. I think the next step is, going there, second round, third round. But I have high hopes for this team. But let me know in the comments down below how you feel about what you saw on the preseason. Are you encouraged? Do you think the Bulls didn't do much? Any holes that needs to be filled, and what should they do in your opinion, with Lonzo Ball and Patrick Williams? Should he start? Should he come off the bench? Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the regular season in a week. So thank you for watching,